So tonight, Economics Unbound focuses on foreign direct investments. For more on this, Economics Unbound anchor Thandeka Gqubule-Mbeki joins us. So you'll be talking all things investment today.
All things investment, not just foreign direct investment, but public sector investment in this economy. That means the state's investment in the economy, as well as the state-owned enterprises investment in this economy. Now, since 2015, that figure for public sector investment has dwindled by about 18%. And part of the reason for that is that the public sector companies, the SOEs, have been struggling. Then we'll look also at private sector investment. Now we have a problem, a historical problem of retained earnings. That is the private sector being on almost a private sector strike and not releasing money into the economy, but rather keeping it on the balance sheet and sitting there in the banks, and because they've been waiting for a signal from government and some kind of policy certainty before they can unleash that money into the economy. We'll also look at portfolio flows. That's the money that comes into the JSE, to see how that is going. And we'll also look at FDI figures.
So just with regards to the investment summit, I know you were there. What kind of investment are we able to elicit from investors?
Well, a number of pledges in the hundreds of billions were pledged. And there is a debate about whether this is a gimmick and a ploy to psychologically trigger the private sector to support this administration's drive for investment, and whether those companies really did pledge new capital, or whether this was inevitably planned capex by the different companies that did pledge.
So does that mean that if the public sector is not sort of self-investing, private sector holds back?
Normally, in most economies, it's the public sector, that's the state and its SOEs, that lead investment. And that leading of investment, normally in our country, public sector investment is about 40 to 50% of GDP. And public sector investment normally triggers private sector investment, as you can imagine, because it would signal which sectors are preferred by government, how government is going to be spending. And normally, the Keynesian way to do things is to spend yourself out of an economic doldrum in the hope that the private sector comes to the party.
All right, thank you very much. Do watch Economics Unbound later on. That is host Thandeka Gqubule-Mbeki. Western Cape Transport Minister Bonginkosi Madikizela has condemned the looting of trucks on the N1 at Durance in the Hex River Valley. The looting coincided with the service delivery protest in which cars were stoned and tyres burned.